that organizes exams for all India services and top level central government jobs. In the same way, each state's public service commission conducts exams to fill state government jobs. These commissions also give advice to the state government on matters like promotions, transfers, and any kind of disciplinary actions against the government employees. Similarly, Telangana State Public Service Commission (TSPSC) was formed under the rules of Article 315 of the Constitution of India on 8th August 2014, and it officially started working from December 18th, 2016. TSPSC is the youngest public service commission in India, and our Professor Ganta Chakrapani sir was appointed as the first chairman of TSPSC by the Governor of Telangana. Since then, the Commission has been responsibly carrying out its roles and responsibilities as stated in Article 320 of the Constitution, which includes conducting exams, selecting suitable candidates, and advising the government on various service matters. History of Hyderabad Public Service Commission. Hyderabad was one of the most important princely states in India before the independence. It had a very glorious history with more than 400 years of rich culture, traditions, and royal heritage. Even back then, the idea of choosing talented young people for government jobs through a selection process was followed. This practice began during the time of Mir Mahbub Ali Pasha. He was the sixth Nizam of Hyderabad, who ruled from 1869 to 1911. And earlier, there was a system called Hyderabad Civil Service Committee, which was set up through a royal order called Firman in 1919. And later, a new organization called the Hyderabad Public Service Commission was formed by another Firman on April 27th, 1947. Firman means a order. And following the example of the British Provincial Public Service Commissions, this Hyderabad Public Service Commission was formed in April 27th, 1947. This commission had one chairman and up to four members. The formation of this commission was a big step forward during the rule of the Asif Jahi dynasty and modernizing the administration of the Nizam's government. In those days, getting selected for the Hyderabad civil service was seen as a great honor, and it was considered as a very prestigious job. Before Mir Mahbub Ali Pasha's time, public servants in Hyderabad were mostly nominated by the rulers. But during Mir Mahbub Ali Pasha's reign, this system changed. He introduced merit-based selection. Before him, people used to nominate these public servants. And during Mahbub Ali Pasha's time, they introduced the merit system, merit-based selection, which lays the foundation for a modern government system that was purely based on the skill and qualifications. A key figure in this change was Sir Salarjung I. He was the Diwan. He was the Prime Minister of Hyderabad. He was the one who built the modern Hyderabad civil service. In 1882, he released a special government document called the Extraordinary Zarida, which emphasized the importance of educating and training young people in Hyderabad so that they could join the Nizam's government services. Salarjung also believed in building an efficient administrative system which is similar to the British India, and he introduced several reforms to modernize the government. Like he removed outdated systems and he created a professional group of government officers known as civil service class. A legal framework for running government services is in Hyderabad was formed in 1919 with rules and regulations. Another important step was the introduction of the 1892 Constitution by the 6th Nizam, which marked a key moment in managing government workers. Later, under 1919 Constitution, the ruler continued to have full authority over the public services. And as per the 1919 Firman, the Hyderabad Civil Service Committee was formed as an independent body. It played a major role in managing civil services. It functioned on its own without any outside pressure, and also it had many responsibilities such as holding exams and selecting candidates for different government jobs. In 1938, the Executive Council of Hyderabad formed a new committee with all the secretaries of the government, led by the finance member as president and a finance department officer as secretary. This committee studied how recruitment and appointment of government officers should be handled and recommended setting up an independent and fair recruitment agency. They believed that the quality of administration depends on the quality of its employees. So the process of selecting them, especially for the top level positions, it must be very strong and efficient. That's what they believed. And as a result, the Hyderabad Public Service Commission was officially established on April 27th, 1947. This was a major development in the management of civil services under the Ask Jahi rule, bringing the administration in line with modern standards. The Hyderabad civil service was known for being highly respected. Getting selected for it through competitive exams was a great achievement. However, after the police action in 1948, which was when the Indian Army took over Hyderabad, this service was abolished and the officers were absorbed into Indian government civil services. The Hyderabad Public Service Commission, created by the last Nizam, Mir Osman Ali Khan, followed the model of British Provincial Public Service Commission and had similar duties to it. It had one chairman and up to 4 members who were appointed by the Nizam based on the recommendations from the President of the Executive Council. Later, this Public Service Commission continued under the Indian Constitution during the leadership of Bargula Ramakrishna Rao, who was the first elected Chief Minister of Hyderabad state. Eventually, in 1956, the Hyderabad Service Commission was merged into the Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission, APSPSC, and the APSPSC continued until the state of Andhra Pradesh was split into Telangana and Andhra Pradesh as per the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014. Constitution of Telangana State Public Service Commission. As per the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014, the new state of Telangana officially came into existence on June 2nd, 2014. The act also provided for the formation of a public service commission for the newly created state of Telangana. According to this law, the state of Telangana must set up its own public service commission following Article 315 of the Indian Constitution. Until this new commission was established, the Union Public Service Commission, with the approval of the President of India, was allowed to help with the recruitment needs of the Telangana state. Using the powers given under Article 315, Clause 1 of the Constitution, the Governor of Telangana officially formed the Telangana State Public Service Commission, TSPSC, This commission was created to select suitable candidates for direct recruitment to various government jobs in Telangana. It also performs the duties which are listed in Article 320 of the Constitution, which includes recruitment, conducting exams, and advising the government. Appointment of the members. Under Article 316 of the Indian Constitution, the chairman and other members of the State Public Service Commission are appointed by the governor of the state, and at least half of the members must be people who have worked in the government service for at least 10 years, either for government of India or state government. They should have at least have 10 years of experience, half of the members of this commission. And the number of members and staff is not fixed by the constitution. It is up to the governor to decide the size of the commission and the terms and conditions of their service. If the chairman's post becomes vacant, or if the chairman is unable to carry out their duties due to absence or any other reason, the government can appoint one of the members as an acting chairman. The acting chairman, he serves the role of the chairman until a new chairman is appointed, or until the existing chairman is able to return to the duty if he is absent in case of absence. Tenure. The chairman and members of the commission, they serve for a term of 6 years or until they reach the age of 62, whichever comes first. And if a member wants to resign before completing their term, they can do so by sending a resignation letter to the governor of Telangana. Removal and suspension of a members. Under Article 317 of the Constitution, the President of India, he has the power to remove the chairman or any member of the Public Service Commission only on the grounds of the misbehavior. However, before doing so, the President must refer the case to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will conduct an inquiry following rules under Article 145, and if the court recommends the removal, only then the President can issue an order to remove the person. The President may also remove the chairman or any member without involving the Supreme Court in some cases, like if the person is declared insolvent, which means if he is unable to pay his debts, he can be removed by the President without involving Supreme Court. And he can also remove the chairman if they take up any paid job outside their duties during the term. They are not supposed to do any other job which pays them. And also if they are according to the president's opinion, they are mentally or physically unfit, then also president can remove chairman or any member without involving Supreme Court. And also if they are involved in any government contract or agreement or receive any kind of profit or benefit from such deals, they will be considered guilty of misbehavior and can be removed. So in these four cases, the president can remove the chairman or any member without involving the Supreme Court. Firstly, if he is declared insolvent, which means when he is unable to pay his debts, and if they take up any paid job outside their duties of the term during the term, and thirdly, according to president opinion, if he thinks that the chairman or any member is physically or mentally unfit, and fourthly, if the chairman or members are involved in any kind of government contract or agreement that gives them any kind of profit or benefit. And in such cases, it is considered as guilty of misbehavior. And in these four cases, the president can remove the chairman or any member without involving Supreme Court. Functions of Telangana State Public Service Commission. The Telangana State Public Service Commission was established under Article 315, Clause 1 of the Indian Constitution, and it performs its roles and responsibilities as mentioned in Article 320 of the Constitution and as per the TSPSC regulations. The main goal of the commission is to select the most suitable candidates for different government jobs in Telangana state. These are important statutory functions of the Telangana State Public Service Commission. Firstly, direct recruitment. So the TSPSC handles recruitment of candidates to public service and posts in various departments of the Telangana government. All recruitments are done as per the rules, orders, and guidelines provided by the government from time to time. The commission also carries out recruitment for posts in corporations, public sector units, and local government bodies that are owned by the Telangana state government. It also conducts written exams and interviews for selecting eligible candidates. These are held according to the exam scheme and syllabus, which would be announced for each job post. And second, approval of statutory rules relating to state and subordinate services. The Commission gives its approval for various service rules made by the government, which can include special rules or regular service rules or temporary or ad hoc rules, and any changes or amendments proposed to these rules. This commission approves them. And thirdly, concurrence for compassionate appointments in special cases. Sometimes in special situations like death of a government employee, the government may offer a compassionate appointment to a family member. If a government employee dies, his family member can be given a compassionate appointment. This commission gives its approval for such compassionate appointments when referred by the government. They will be approved by the TSPSC. And recruitment by transfer or promotion. TSPSC provides approval when an employee is being promoted or transferred from one service category to another. This usually involves transfer from a lower service to higher service or promotions from lower guested officer categories to higher ones as listed in the third schedule of the 1975 presidential order. And then disciplinary cases. TSPC also gives advice to the government in disciplinary cases, which involves major penalties like suspension, dismissal, etc. These cases are referred to TSPSC by the government, and the commission examines and gives recommendations. And then conduct of departmental examinations to state government employees. TSPSC conducts departmental tests twice a year, usually in May and November. These exams are for current government employees to help them get promotions or meet other eligibility requirements. And then we have half-yearly examinations. TSPSC also conducts half-yearly exams for all India services like IAS, IPS, IFS. These subjects, the subjects in these exams include languages, law, and revenue. These exams are held twice a year in March and September. And then temporary appointments. If the government department wants to make a temporary appointment for more than 3 months, it must get approval from TSPSC. The same rule applies in department. The same rule applies if the department wants to continue such temporary appointments beyond a certain period. Digital reforms. Recruitment is the process of finding and attracting suitable candidates to fill job vacancies in the organization. It involves identifying people who have the right skills, knowledge, and attitude, which are needed to help the organization achieve its goals. The TSPSC has brought into several digital and IT based reforms to make the recruitment process transparent, fair, quick, and corruption free. These reforms aim to ensure that every step of the selection process is clear and trustworthy. These are some major digital reforms introduced by TSPSC. Firstly, digital one-time registration (OTR) system. This is one of the most important reforms. Through the OTR, through the OTR system, all job seekers in Telangana, they can register their complete personal and academic details online just once. This system is not just an online form, it also works like a virtual employment exchange. The data collected through this OTR, it helps the TSPSC understand the number of unemployed youth, their educational qualifications, their age, caste, economic background, and many more such details. Using this data, the Commission can do a socio-economic analysis of the unemployed youth in the state, which helps the government in planning welfare and employment schemes better. And then online application. TSPSC now accepts all applications online only. Candidates can submit their applications exclusively through the official TSPSC website. It makes the process simple, fast, and accessible for everyone, and it also reduces paperwork and delays. And application of mobile phone technology. TSPSC has made the best use of mobile phone to give quick and timely updates to the candidates. SMS alerts are sent to candidates at various stages of recruitment. These SMS alerts include like job notifications. They send application submission confirmation. They also send details of the submitted application and their hall tickets, merit list, interview notification. And also they send notifications for the answer key of the exams they have written. Additional mobile features include like live responses from the TSPC command center during the exams to guide the candidates. In case of candidates having any doubt, they can also get live responses from TSPSC command center. And also there's real-time instructions sent to officials conducting the exam. And then also there's crisis management support using mobile systems in case of emergencies. And then computer-based recruitment system, CBRT. TSPSC has introduced CBRT to make the exam process faster, more secure, and reliable. During these tests, a biometric system is used to take left hand thumb impression, and also there's biometric system for photograph and signature of the candidate. All these details are saved by the TSPSC in database to verify the identity of the candidate during interviews and also to prevent any kind of cheating. And introduction of CC cameras in departmental tests. TSPSC conducts departmental tests for current government employees to test their knowledge of rules, laws, and government orders. To ensure strict monitoring, CC cameras are now installed in each and every exam hall. This helps in better supervision, maintaining fairness, and also avoiding any kind of malpractices or cheating. Technology embedded physical efficient test. TSPSC also uses drone camera to record live video of the physical efficiency test. This brings more transparency and accuracy to physical tests like running, jumping, etc. It helps in authentic documentation of each candidate's performance. Live streaming on smartphone. The video captured by drone cameras during physical tests is shown live on smartphones using web links. This live feed is also monitored at the TSPSC Command Center, making the whole process more accountable and open. Update of data. TSPSC updates candidate information instantly on the spot and on online. Candidates are informed immediately through website whether they are qualified or disqualified, and this reduces waiting time and also keeps candidates well informed. Reforms in interview process. The interview is a very important part of the recruitment process. While the written exam tests knowledge, the interview helps to identify the most suitable candidate among those who qualified the written exam. It assesses a candidate's personality, their communication, their behavior, then confidence, and everything, all of which are very important for government roles. To make interviews fair, unbiased, and objective, the TSPSC has introduced a number of reforms, many of which are first of their kind in India. These are some key reforms in TSPSC interview process. Firstly, constitution of interview boards. TSPSC has formed interview boards that are socially balanced. This means people from various social backgrounds and communities are included to ensure fair representation and diversity. This helps in reducing any kind of bias based on social identity. Introducing personality assessor or behavioral scientist. Every interview board now includes a personality assessor or behavioral scientist. Their job is to help the board accurately evaluate the candidate's personality, attitude, and overall suitability for the job. This ensures that interviews are not just academic, but also considers soft skills, and personal traits. And then unique ID or admission unique ID, which is the admission card. TSPSC has introduced a unique ID system where each candidate is given a unique code, a photograph, and educational qualifications. Important personal details like name, caste, religion, district, social background, or even the name of the college or institution, they're all not shared. They will be kept private. The candidate is sent to the interview board randomly based on this unique ID, so the candidate does not know which board they will face. And the board does not know which candidate is going to come there for the interview. This system prevents any possibility of bias and helps ensure true merit-based selection. Interview boards are also given clear instructions not to ask the identity based on questions such as they're not allowed to ask their name, religion, caste, or from where they come from, like which district and the institution where they study, etc. They're not allowed to ask such questions. And marks are awarded purely based on interview performance. Interview marks into grades instead of directly giving marks. TSPC converts marks into grades. There is a rule that marks cannot be below 30 percentage and marks cannot be above 80 percentage. If a candidate deserves very high or very low marks, the board must give a valid reason in the remarks column of the grade sheet. If needed, they may attach a separate sheet with the explanation. The grading system ensures uniformity, fairness, and prevents extreme favoritism or discrimination. Use of tabs or computer for awarding marks. Earlier, interview marks were written manually on paper, sealed, and sent for processing. Now, TSPSC has digitized the entire interview process using tabs and laptops. The interview board directly enters grades and marks into the tab. The data is instantly saved on TSPSC server. It is automatically added to the written exam marks of the candidate. This new digital system is secure, accurate, and also saves a lot of time and manpower. New token system. No further to further reduce bias, the TSPIC has introduced a new token system. A candidate's hall ticket number is replaced with a unique ID code. Every candidate is randomly assigned a token number. Based on this token number, the candidate appears before a specific interview board. The board assesses the candidate without knowing their identity. This random allocation is done right before the interview starts, so no one can predict or manipulate the process. And the marks are awarded based on the token or ID code, and the system maps them to the right candidate of the TSPSC server. With these groundbreaking reforms, TSPSC has made its interview process one of the most transparent, secure, and merit-based system in the country. The use of technology, behavioral science, grading, and anonymity, they ensure that the right candidates are selected based on purely on their merit, on their ability and personality. The Hyderabad Service Commission was the first commission modeled on the British Provincial Public Service Commission. It included a chairman and up to 4 members, all appointed by the Nizam based on the advice of the President of the Executive Council. After completing their term, chairman and members were not allowed to take up any further employment. In 1956, this Hyderabad Commission was merged with the newly formed Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission, APPSC, and the APPSC existed until 2014 when the state of Andhra Pradesh was split into two under the AP Reorganization Act 2014. And after the Telangana was formed, a new commission, the TSPSC, was established under Article 315, Clause 1 of the Indian Constitution. The main duty of TSPSC is to select the most suitable candidates for various government posts in Telangana. TSPSC performs all functions under Article 320 of the Constitution and follows its own regulations. TSPSC has also launched several digital initiatives to make the recruitment process fair, transparent, and efficient. These reforms ensure honest selection and maintain integrity at every stage of the process. Now let's look into State Finance Commission. The Panchayat Raj system in India, it was started on October 2nd, 1959, based on the suggestions of the Balwant Rai Mehta Committee. This committee was created to bring local self-governance to the villages and give people a say in how things are run at local level. However, over time, the system started losing its importance. The central government started taking more control, which affected the functioning of the Panchayati Raj institutions across the country. Elections for these local bodies were not held regularly, and people slowly lost interest and involvement in them. And many problems were seen in these institutions, such as poor management, not enough money, no real decision making, and corruption among officials, and there's favoritism and irregular practices. To make the local bodies stronger and more effective, the Government of India has brought in 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts in 1992. These important changes gave legal and constitutional status to local bodies, and they made sure that elections were held regularly. They also ensured better representation for women and people from weaker sections of the society. These laws placed a stronger focus of improving the economy and promoting social justice for people living in rural and urban areas. One of the major features of these amendments was the creation of special institutions at the state level called state finance commissions. These commissions were set up to organize and manage how financial resources are shared between the state government and the local bodies. Their job is to review the financial situation of local governments and recommend how funds should be distributed to ensure fairness and efficiency. What makes the State Finance Commission unique is their broad financial responsibilities and their goal of working independently from the government and their role of being protected under the Constitution. No other country in the world has a system quite like this. Uh, these commissions are inspired by India's Central Finance Commission, which plays a similar role at the national level. Constitution of State Finance Commission. The State Finance Commissions have been created in different states as official bodies. These commissions are formed to work independently and give fair and practical suggestions on how the state government should share its financial resources with local bodies like panchayats and municipalities. As per Article 243, Clause 1 of the Indian Constitution, the governor of each state is required to set up a state finance commission every 5 years. This means that each state should review its financial relationship with the local governments regularly and take necessary steps to improve it. A state finance commission is made up of a chairman and a member secretary and four other members. This group of experts, they study the financial needs of the local bodies and suggest how much money they should get from the state government. Till now, 24 states and 6 UTs, Union Territories in India, have formed their own finance commission. However, 5 states and 1 union territory have still not set up these commissions, which means the financial link between their state governments and local bodies has not been properly reviewed or improved yet. In case of Jammu and Kashmir, the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, which provides for forming State Finance Commission, has not been applied yet. So the question of creating a finance commission in the state does not arise. So some of the states and union territories that have successfully set up their own state finance commissions include Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Assam, Bihar, Kerala, Nagaland, Orissa, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Goa, Gujarat, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttaranchal, now called as Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand and Delhi. These commissions play an important role in improving how local governments function by helping them get the money they need to carry out development work and serve the people better. Functions of state finance commissions. The state finance commissions are responsible for several important tasks that help improve the financial health and functioning of the Panchayat Raj institutions and urban local bodies. Their functions include firstly reviewing the financial condition of all Panchayati Raj institutions and urban local bodies in the state to understand how well they are doing economically. And then it also recommends steps that can improve the financial situation of rural and urban local bodies, making them more stable and capable of handling local development and allocating funds to local bodies like panchayats and municipalities from the consolidated fund of the state, which is the main account where the state's revenue is kept. Acting as a mediator in financial matters between the central government and the state government, State Finance Commission, it acts as a mediator, especially when there are disputes or questions about money and resource sharing. Transferring funds. Transferring funds received by the state government from the central government to the appropriate local bodies to ensure they reach where they are meant to be used. And promoting financial efficiency by helping local governments spend wisely and reduce unnecessary or wasteful expenses. Making a proper assessment of the actual needs of each level of panchayats and municipalities. This involves looking at what duties have been given to each level and what kind of money they can collect through taxes and other sources. Based on this, the State Finance Commission recommends how much untied grants or shares from state taxes should be given to them. And evaluating recurring grants. Evaluating recurring grants provided by the state government for special schemes like salaries of elected representatives and staffs. The State Finance Commission can suggest how these schemes can be improved to promote financial independence and responsibility among the local bodies, and recommending ways to improve the devolution. Recommending ways to improve the devolution process, which means transferring powers, funds, and responsibilities to local governments. The State Finance Commission can also make specific suggestions in areas such as running pilot projects, changing laws and procedures, strengthening administrative systems, running pilot projects where panchayats or municipalities are given control over delivering basic services like primary education, healthcare, water supply, sanitation, etc., and changing laws and procedures to help panchayats and municipalities collect more money through fair and efficient tax and non-tax methods at the local level, and strengthening administrative systems by giving local bodies more control over their staff or assigning state government staff to work directly with them. And then we have dividing the total income. Dividing the total income collected through taxes, tolls, duties, and fees between the state government and the various municipal bodies and panchayats fairly and efficiently. Deciding which taxes, tolls, duties, and fees can be charged by the different panchayats and municipalities across the state, ensuring each level knows its powers, and maintaining a detailed and accurate financial database related to the activities and performance of local governments, which helps in better planning and decision making. And lastly, looking into any other financial matters that are assigned by the State Finance Commission, especially if they are related to the financial well-being and effective working of Panchayati Raj institutions and urban local bodies. Working of State Finance Commission. Many states have not shown interest or seriousness when it comes to setting up state finance commissions. Even after forming them, states often fail to provide the state finance commissions with necessary support like administrative help, technical staff, or access to important data. In addition, many state governments do not take the State Finance Commission's recommendations seriously or implement them properly. The main issues in how state finance commissions function can be explained as follows. Firstly, weak composition of state finance commissions. The members of state finance commissions are not ideally selected. For example, in some states, a currently serving bureaucrat was made the head of the state finance commission, which can affect its independence and fairness. Both the 11th and 12th Finance Commission of India agreed that the poor quality of State Finance Commission reports was partly due to the issue with how State Finance Commissions were formed and lack of monitoring systems. There are no strong legal or permanent systems to keep track of whether the State Finance Commission recommendations are being implemented. There's also no permanent setup to ensure there is continuity and coordination between different state finance commissions over the years. The 11th Finance Commission had suggested creating a permanent state finance commission cell to solve this problem. Weak or incomplete data. All state finance commissions have clearly pointed out the serious lack of reliable and updated database. Without accurate data, it's hard for state finance commission to make good decisions. The 11th Finance Commission had even provided special funds to help build better databases. But the issue, it still persists. It still remains. Little improvement in urban finances. So far, the recommendations of the state finance commissions have not brought about any major improvements in the financial conditions of urban local governments. In many states, less than 5% of the state's own revenue is given to the urban local bodies, and unequal sharing among rural levels. State finance commissions have had different opinions on how to share money between different levels of rural local government, like in between gram panchayats and intermediary panchayats, and problems in creating fair financial structures. State fin- finance commissions have tried to build formula-based systems for allocating money and even multi-level financial frameworks to include all the tiers of the government. But creating a fair and balanced structure has always been difficult, and most state finance commissions handled urban, urban and rural bodies separately without a unified approach, which caused imbalance and confusion. And there's lack of clear spending guidelines. One major flaw is that state finance commissions did not clearly define what responsibilities local bodies have when it comes to spending. Ideally, before assigning money or taxes to local bodies, their duties should be clearly laid out. Without this clarity, most state finance commissions recommendations lack a strong foundation and they don't work well in practice. And no equalization grants. There is no proper system to give extra funds, which are known as equalization grants, to weaker local bodies that are not able to raise enough money on their own. This creates more inequality among different areas, and no proper tracking of actual spending or fund transfers. Many state finance commissions they did not try to measure non-formula based devolution, which means funds given outside of any formula, or the total spending done by local bodies. Often uniform block grants are given to local bodies without considering their population size, area, or the services they have to provide. Different state finance commissions have used different methods to deal with these issues. While some variation is expected because each state has unique local situations, these differences can create unequal decentralization. That means some states may become more advanced in giving power and money to local bodies, while others may fall behind. Both the 11th and 12th Central Finance Commissions have strongly criticized how the state finance commissions are working. Their main concerns include poor procedures in forming state finance commissions, delays in submitting reports, and state governments ignoring key recommendations. State finance commissions not contributing useful data or insights to the work of the Central Finance Commission, and short lifespan of state finance commissions. To sum up, the state finance commissions were created under the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts to manage and improve the way financial resources are shared with Panchayati Raj institutions and the urban local bodies. These commissions were meant to make sure that local governments get enough funds to carry out their responsibilities effectively. In India, almost all states, with few exceptions, have set up their state finance commissions. The overall performance of state finance commissions show that they have missed a valuable opportunity to help build a more participatory, fair, and environmentally sustainable system. The 11th and 12th Central Finance Commissions have carefully analyzed and discussed the major flaws in the way state finance commissions work. Another important reason for their underperformance is that the state finance commission mechanism was imposed on states through constitutional amendments. As a result, many states treat this process with indifference or lack of seriousness. So, if you have any doubts, please ask me. Okay, then thank you all. See you all in the next class.